Hello, my name is Peter Cordier and I'm an Implementation Service Manager for Europe, the Middle East and Africa regions here at Revizto. Welcome to this learning session called Revizto for Designers, Setting Up Dashboards to Track Design Issues. Here I'll be showing you how to use the tools in Revizto to set up simple dashboards. These dashboards will provide an efficient way to visualize how projects are performing at any given time. So here we have a visual reference to what we're going to be doing today. We have on the left a drawing sheet with a lot of issue pins essentially showing up on that drawing. And when you get a lot of data into a project, when you start generating that sort of information, it can be quite difficult to make out what's what. On the right hand side, we have a couple of graphs, just as a general sort of visual reference to what we're going to be looking at. And we have quite a simple and easy way to be able to see what's going on with the issues. So the first thing we need to do is make sure that we've got our stamp templates set up, because we're going to be using the information from the stamp templates to generate our reports in the Revizto workspace. So if I open up my stamps there and go into the stamp management tool, the way I've set these up, I've got essentially categories for each discipline. So in this case, we have architecture, landscape architecture, structure, mechanical, electrical and civil. This is quite a general sort of view on what sort of disciplines you might have on a typical building project or an architecture project. Of course, these will also lend themselves to civil engineering projects. You will have some slightly different disciplines here, of course, and you'll have roads, rail, drainage, etc. But the process that we're going to be looking at today is very easily transferred to any type of project. So just to look at these stamps in a bit more detail here for this architecture stamp category. So we have 4 stamps. We have one for drawing review. We have one for clashes. These are visual clashes, not to do with Navisworks automatic clashes or Celebri clashes that you might be bringing in. These are clashes that are visual when you're going through the model, or drawings, of course. We have a design error and a design query here as well. And each of these stamps are effectively repeated for each of the disciplines. So it's important to understand that every time there's an architectural issue that you want to raise, you use a stamp from the architecture stamp category, and the same for all the other disciplines in this case. And another note, actually, just to give you some more flexibility with what you can do with these. You don't have to do them by discipline. You could just as easily have these stamp categories organized in by work package, for example, so there's some flexibility there. So I'm going to open the 3D model here. So we have just a visual reference really to try and explain what we want to make clear. So we have the model here. I've just got the electrical model visible at the moment, but that's just so we can see all of the issues, and it can be quite difficult to see what's going on in the model. We also have the 2D space where we have our drawings and other documents where we can visualize the issues and where those issues lie on the drawing itself. So I'm going to open up a general arrangement plan here, and here we can see the issues that are affecting this drawing. It's important to note also that you can filter the issues that you are seeing on either the drawing or the model, and you do that by filtering them in the issue tracker. I'm going to select this all issues filter, and then in 2D you can see everything here. So whilst you can filter the issues, easily. In the application, I wanted to show you how to visualize these in graphical form for the project. So we're going to go back to the issues tracker here, and I'm going to open the reporting tool. That opens up a browser and takes you to your Revizto workspace for that project. So I'm going to open my dashboards here, and we're going to just have a quick look and have an overview of these charts that I've created. So the first thing to explain is a dashboard is a place where you can have more than one chart in that dashboard, and you can create these dashboards. You can create as many as you like, and you can do quite a lot with them actually. But like I said, I'm going to show you quite a straightforward set of dashboards here and charts. So we've got one called Design Issues, General Overview, and if I just go to configure this dashboard, the name is quite obvious. We can select whether public issues are visible in this dashboard, or public and private issues, and we can also decide whether the whole project team with the appropriate rights can see that, or whether it's by invitation. You can pick people from here to share that dashboard with. But I'm going to make this visible for all project members who can see public issues. So now to look at the dashboards, we have a selection here which just gives us a good general overview. I'm just going to run through these now. So we've got this one, it's a pie chart called All Design Issues. So that's showing us all of the issues historically, and which status they're in. You can hover over these and see the number there. All of these charts are dynamic, so when you make a change in the project, instantly the change gets transferred across to these dashboards and charts in the Revizto workspace. We have another one here called Current Design Issues by Assignee, and the idea of this one is that any person in the project that has issues assigned to them that are open and in progress, that will get listed here. So we can see here 3 people, Mike Mechanical, Alan Architect, and Sven Structural Engineer, and they're just aliases that I use. These people have issues, and again you can sort of hover over that and you can see Mike has 150 open, for example, 18 are in progress, and you can see the percentage as well of the total number of those issues, how many each of these assignees have attributed to them. There's another one here called All Design Issues by Assignee. So the idea being is that you see not just the current ones, but the ones that are open, in progress, solved, and closed. So yeah, a good idea of the history of what's happened. And this one gives us a good visual on what's changed over a particular time period. So we can see here from July 16th, 2020, we had 43 open issues and 3 solved issues, and you can see what's happened to those today. This is a good one as well, one of my favorites, where we have a line chart where we can see the discipline performance. So all of the issues have been arranged or sorted by discipline, and we can see how many issues, total number of issues, have been created over time. When I say total number, I mean the current, so the open in progress issues. So now we're going to take a look at how to actually create these charts. To create a new chart, once you've created the dashboard, you would simply select Add Chart and then fill in the details here. I'm going to show you how I've done these ones previously. So this one, All Design Issues, is quite a good just general overview. So I'll go to Configure. The name is whatever you want to call it, obviously. We have the choice of different chart types. We've got pie, bar, status flow, and timeline, and I have all examples on this dashboard that I can show you. Grouping is by status, which means that you'll group your issues depending on whether they're open in progress, solved, or closed. And the sorting is fixed. You have these choices as well if you wanted to change it. So the next sort of filtering, so this filtering of issues is quite important actually, because this actually gives us the data and filters the issues that we want to see in this graph or chart. So we're filtering by stamp category. So you can filter by quite a lot of different things, but we're going to focus on what we're seeing here. So stamp categories, any of, and then you pick from the list, and I've just selected the discipline categories from my list. So in this way, we're focusing just on design issues by category, and that's basically what we're seeing here. So that's quite a straightforward one. This one, let's have a look at how that's been set up. So we've got a bar chart this time. Chart size is half, which means that it's just going to take up half of the screen on the browser. Assignee, and then so we're grouping by assignee and then status, which means it will sort or display the results by assignee, but also the status of the issues. And we've got a couple of filters here. We just want to see the open and in progress issues. And again, the stamp categories are the different disciplines here. Let's have a look at this one next. So we've got the all issues, so similar to current issues, with the only difference being that we've got all of the statuses. We're not actually filtering by open and closed. We can see all of them, so we're not having to add that filter in there. The design issues over time. So this is a status flow chart type. We can pick the time period. So we've got a custom time period here. So you can say 6 days, weeks, or months ago. And you can obviously put in the values that you want to see. And again, we're filtering by all of the discipline stamp categories. So all of the issues that have been created from those stamp categories, and we're not filtering the statuses again in this case because we want to see everything. This one is quite interesting. So we have a timeline. So now we've got this is the last chart type. I've chosen to have it full, just because it spreads across the screen nicely at the bottom in my dashboard. And I wanted to see how each discipline is performing. So their current design issues. So let's have a quick look at this. So we're filtering status any of just the opening and progress ones, and then the stamp category for this line is architecture. So you're adding lines basically for each data set. So this is the architecture line. So I'm just filtering the stamps that have been created from the architecture stamp category, and then I've got a line for each discipline. So there's a line here, and you can see the logic there. You're filtering by the discipline stamp category each time, and I've got them all in here. And to add lines, you would just click add, and there is a limit of 10. So if you have 20 disciplines maybe on a project, you'd have to put those into a couple of different charts. There's one more dashboard I'd like to run through. This one is showing us all of the clashes. So obviously clashes general overview is the name of the dashboard. Let's have a look at these charts. This first one is showing us active clashes by assignee, which means that we're sorting the open and in progress statuses, and the actual issues that we're seeing two types of issue. We're seeing visual clashes, which have been created using a clash stamp, So each of my disciplines has a clash stamp. So if I come across a mechanical clash, for example, I'll stamp it with a mechanical clash from the mechanical stamp category. And each of these clashes or stamp templates for clashes have this tag in there called Design Review Clash Detection. And by having that same tag in each of these clash stamps, I can filter by that tag essentially, and that's what I've done here. So I'm filtering any of tags include Design Review Clash Detection, or type is any of clash. So Revizto recognizes a Navisworks clash when it's synced from Navisworks as a clash type. So by this method, I'm filtering stamps and Navisworks clashes, which is giving me essentially my information here. And even though the clashes have been identified in different ways, they're still clashes at the end of the day. And we have one which shows us here solved clashes. So again, quite straightforward, same as the previous one, but instead we're seeing solved and closed. And we have a flow chart here showing us the progress of these issues, these clash issues over time. And this one is again 6 months ago. So that's quite nice because we're seeing on July the 16th we had 746 open clashes, and something's going well with that because 696 are now in or solved. Green means that they're solved. And that the last one here we have a timeline, and we are seeing the progress of clashes depending on their status. So we have a line for each status: open in progress, solved, closed. And for each line again, we are filtering by the status and then the either clash type issue or tag. And that gives us quite a nice visual. So we can see here, for example, on the 1st of November, we had 631 open clashes, and then a couple of weeks later, most of them have been solved. So that's quite good. Lastly, if you wanted to send this dashboard, you can do that. You can schedule the delivery of this dashboard. So you could send it each week, for example, maybe on a Monday at 9 o'clock. You can include a logo if you like, and you can send it to as many people as you like on the project. When you schedule the delivery of a dashboard, that will get emailed as a PDF. You also have the option of delivering or sending or scheduling the delivery of individual charts. And in this case, we have the option of sending through a PDF with issues, or an XLS. That's the end of the learning session. I hope you found that useful, and thank you for listening. If you have any questions or inquiries about Revizto, please do contact your local representative. Thank you.